I am Chris Lewis, your CAW heavyweight champion, undefeated for over a year, and not because of COVID, but because everybody's scared of me. Now you're watching Wrestle Geeks Recap. Like, subscribe, or I'm gonna come down there and slap the stupid off your face.
Welcome, Wrestle Geeks, to this week's Impact Recap. You've got me, the modern day Viking Jay Scriven, joined by the host, Trevor Firth. How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Good.
Unfortunately, we don't have Jordan with us this week.
I was just about to get onto that. Yeah, we don't have Jordan with us this week, but I'm sure he'll be joining us soon again.
Yeah, he misses one every once in a while. It's all good. Happens.
Yeah. Well, you know, holding that championship probably weighs him down.
I know a champion who didn't miss a single day, so I don't know. But dude, Impact Wrestling, June 24th.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you know what? It was all pretty good. Like, did you watch any of BTI?
I watched the match.
Yeah. I watched Iceman Intel.
Okay. What do you say? What pointlessness was it this week?
So this is Iceman's Intel. So Jay Miller is literally like, oh, I need to find out where he gets this. I think he's psychic. Yeah, and he's like, no, he just fucking watched last week's episode because this, like, he literally says, oh, Don Callis isn't an EVP anymore. He's been stripped of his powers, but he's still the manager of Kenny Omega, and he's going to be in the show. Oh, great. Thanks for that. Thanks, Iceman.
We've known that ever since the official announcement came out, like, over a month ago.
Yeah. Like, I think I need his job. I think I could do a better job of it.
Even if you start making stuff up, dude, you'll probably get, like... It'd be more interesting if you start making things up.
I could make better things up. This week, someone has phoned me and said that Crazy Steve is fucking having a sex change. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd be more interested in that and then someone telling me something that I watched last week and I've known for a month.
No, you're right. Even if it was like a weird gossip, like, totally stupid thing, it would be better than what it is now. I agree.
Yeah. Enough about me moaning about George Man Ice. Like, I've just had enough of him now. Like, go away.
I agree, man. It was interesting at first. It was a great concept. The execution has been really poor. And
it's just got worse and worse over every week.
Yep.
And some of the stuff hasn't been followed up on. Like, there was a ghost, and that's not been followed up on, and all that sort of stuff. It's just ridiculous.
No, I agree with you 100%. We had, for the match though, we had Decay versus TJP and Falaba.
I was very surprised with this match, to tell you the truth. I'm surprised who won. You know, I thought Decay would get the win.
That feels like they're. I kind of agree with you, but I guess Decay just had the title shot, I suppose.
Yeah.
And TJP and Falaba are, you know, just got back together as a tag team. TJP just finished up with, like he says later on, a bunch of banger X Division matches. So, I mean, it makes sense in a way for them to win. I was cool with it.
Yeah.
Plus, I love Falaba.
Yeah, I love his, like, where he bars up or whatever, like Hulkamania or whatever it is, that kind of, like, bah. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And, I you know what, I don't think TJP can have a bad match. I really don't.
No, he's incapable of having a bad match at this point in his career. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I always have fun. But before we go into the main show itself, guys, remember to like, share, subscribe. It always helps us out, of course. Leave a comment down below let us know what you thought about BTI. Are you guys fed up with it? Do you guys watch it? Is there any point to it at this? I don't think there is anymore. The match is all that matters at this point. Also, if you really want to help us out, the best way you can do so is patreon.com/WrestleGeeks2020. Go over there. We have a few different tiers, and we got some stuff we're working on for possible future either early content or Patreon exclusive content. But main show itself, it opens up with security telling Don Callis that he can't come in. He's like, oh, you don't work here anymore.
Which just blows my mind because George Iceman just told us that he's still on the roster just as a manager.
Yeah. And I love Don Callis getting ready to go. I will admit, like, I love seeing him get all fired up. Like,
yeah.
Taking off the cufflinks, handing them to Omega. Omega's like, you've done it now. Right? It's just going off. And the one thing I love the most that he brought up, out of all of his accolades, out of all the things he had to say, 5-time heavyweight Canadian wrestling champion. I'm like, yes! Yes!
I love it where he called him the father of AEW. I mean, I am the father of AEW, the invisible hand, the person
really
who brought
cool,
you Jericho versus Omega. Yeah, it was really good, really fun. And then we go straight into the match: Rosemary versus Kira Hogan with Tasha Steelz.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Take us through that one. I loved it.
It was an absolute amazing match. You know, Rosemary catches Hogan with as above, so below, I think a finish was called, and then gets the pinfall. But during the match, you get Havoc, who comes out to stop Tasha from interfering, you know, and also D'Lo Brown talks about the trash bag from last week with Mickey's name on it, and was like, oh, I wonder what that related to. So they're setting up those little teasers there to have that she's coming back to Impact. I don't know how true it is, but it'd be nice to see it come back.
Well, that being said, out of the people who this is being recorded on what's the date today? This is being recorded on the 28th, and we just had more people getting released. We just had like Tyler Breeze, Fandango, like there's so many more people that got released. It's crazy.
I was thinking about this. Think about a company opened with just the people that have been released from WWE over the last 2 years. You'd have such an amazing show.
Yeah, it'd be absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Here's the thing. I don't know if you know about this, but somebody apparently got their what is that called? The no compete clause. They got it shortened.
Really? Do we know who it was?
No idea. Apparently, it was just like somebody negotiated to get their no-compete clause shortened and got it, but I have no idea. Fightful Select doesn't have a specific person. If Sean Ross Sapp and Fightful Select does not have a specific person, then that means no one knows. Other than maybe Meltzer would say it. He's a loudmouth. I have no idea.
Yeah, he is. Well, that's awesome. Let's hope someone turns up at Impact.
By the way, when I say Meltzer's loudmouth, I say that I mean that in a positive way.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
But after the match, we go into 2 different interview segments with Gia.
Yeah.
So that's the whole teleporting Gia thing. If you don't have words. But first is Gia with Chris Bay, and she's asking him why he didn't get involved after last week, and he straight up says it's not his business, which is the worst use of his name added to a word so far. Just gonna say it. But he says none of his business. He knows how these things go. He knows what's gonna happen. He's like, why would he get involved and look like a bully, or get involved and get his ass beat? And I like that. It makes a lot of sense to me. But then you get the baby faces of Trey and Petey Williams walking up to him like, hey, you know eventually you're going to get caught in this anyway. You know you're going to be like, Trey brings up how Fulton screwed all of them over, including Bay. And Petey says the one thing that makes no sense to me in this situation. He's like, oh, you better pick a side before a side picks you. That's how he ends it, and it makes no sense to me. Personally, I'm like, why is Petey Williams a face, the one making that threat? But he does bring up how you think you're going to be you think you're going to pull this off as a lone wolf. in a match like this, that ain't gonna happen. I was part of Team Canada. I used to beat up on guys on you 4-on-1.
Yeah.
I'm like, is Petey Williams going heel?
He plays a good heel.
He plays a great heel. It's just, it's really unexpected.
Maybe he'll join with Madman Fulton and Shearer and Rahit and Ace.
Just give me Tyler Breeze and Petey Williams. There we go. I'll be happy. Man, apparently Tyler Breeze is considering not wrestling anymore, and he's only 33, and that's just like heartbreaking because he's so good, and I would love the opportunity to see this guy live somewhere that isn't WWE, because I can't afford WWE. That simple. So, yeah. I hope he continues.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's so good.
Yeah. And then
one of my personal favorites. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to go on to the next segment.
Yep.
Where Gia Miller teleports backstage to Tommy Dreamer. And Dreamer's got Gallus fired, and how do you feel about that? And he was like, I hate to see anyone lose their job, but, you know, need to do something. And then Scott D'Amore rocks up, and he's like, you know, I'm not pleased that you went above my head, but, you know, I want to say thanks. And then it turns out that Tommy Dreamer is going to stay around as some sort of EVP, I suppose it is. And
I think it's consultant.
Yes, consultant.
Yeah.
But later on in the commentary, they talk about how he's an EVP.
He's essentially an EVP, I think.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter, even if it is just storyline.
Yeah.
You know, it'll work with Tommy Dreamer. You know, he talks about how he's got a friendship with Don and all that stuff, and that this is more about Impact Wrestling than their friendship.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, this is a good promo, honestly. It was everything it needed to be. It wasn't too long. They got through it. Yeah. Tommy and Scott are both really good at just being genuine, candid. Like, man, they're both great. Just feeling like they're like everything they're saying is genuine. So,
I saw a picture the other day. I don't know, like obviously pictures can be faked, but it was Scott D'Amore in a Bullet Club top. Is that right?
I mean, he might have just been wearing a shirt.
Like, it was with Jeff Jarrett, and it was over in Japan, and I didn't know. Like, I don't know if he was or.
That would have been like GFW stuff, dude. I think that was Global Force era stuff. Man, I gotta take a trip down that one day. Like, I watched some of it, and I think I've read up about it a little bit. It'd be worth going through it one day. Maybe that's something we should do for Patreon. We'll just go through. Like one of the we'll go through the one night onlys of GFW one at a time.
Yeah, I'll be happy to do that.
That'd be pretty fun. Let us know if you guys want that in the comments. But next we go to the second match of the night, which is Susan with Kimberly versus Gianna Peraza. Take us through the match, dude.
So Diana, to the end of the match, Diana locks in a single. I don't even want to like try and pronounce this. Fujiwara armbar. Fujiwara. There we go. Armbar, making Susan tap. But the match itself, you know, Diana Peraza is incredible. Like one of the best knockout champions I have seen, and I've been watching Impact and TNA for a long time. But yeah, it was a really good match. Susan and Kimberly, I'm just a bit bored of it. I want Susan to just jog on now. I'm done. She's done. She's lost to Diana. Let's split them up. Let's bring someone fun in.
I hopefully I'm right on this. They should use the rest of the time up until Slammiversary to build her. Yeah. To turn her and build her.
But my thing is that they're running out of time to do the Susan versus Su Yung versus I forgot the third one.
Susie.
There we go.
Yes. The cinematic match with all three. You're right. They're running out of time for it, and it would be so good. But one other thing. So Taylor Wilde really has disappeared, mind you.
Yeah.
You noticed that, right? Like they said, oh, Taylor Wilde has disappeared. And so they had to find a replacement that night, and she hasn't been seen since.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? Like, is she going to be because I expected her to be built as the opponent at Slammiversary by now. I was expecting that to start by now, and I'm kind of disappointed.
Who do you think it'll be at Slammiversary, the opponent for Deonna?
Name me all the women that got released by WWE from the first wave. Because at this point, I truly believe it's going to be somebody like Mickie James, man. I truly believe it's going to be her or maybe one of the two Iconics.
Yeah. They'll come as a tag team.
Yeah, you're right. They would, and there's a tag team division, so that doesn't make sense. But they did trademark a new name for their tag team. So yeah, can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what they do. I can't wait to see who faces Deonna next, because Deonna's matches are always amazing. And I want her to continue to be the legend slayer that she is.
It'd be nice to see her go against Mickie James. That would be, even if she just comes back for one match at Slammiversary, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, it'd be really good. It'd be amazing, honestly.
And then after the match, we get Deonna applies the oh my god, Venus de Milo. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. And on Susan, Kimberly gets in the ring to stop it. Deonna screams she's done with both of them as she heads back to the ramp. But we already knew she was done with both of them. She'd already said that last week.
Yeah, I think this whole thing, like her making Susan look like a fool the entire match, like all of it. It was just to put the final nail in the coffin, in my opinion. Yeah. Hopefully. Next we go into Swingers Palace.
Nice to see it back.
Oh, I'm so happy Swingers Palace is back. I'm not gonna lie. And Jordan's not here, of course.
Of course not.
But oh god, I love this. Falaba just doesn't understand how to play blackjack. Confirmed.
Yeah.
And he looks over at TJP after he loses and still doesn't understand why. He goes, "Hey, can I have a loan?" TJP's like, gives him some of the chips he just won off of Fala. And he's like, you all happy?
No, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And it's nice to see the Swingerella's back, you know.
Yes. We get Swan and Mac that come in next, though. Mm-hmm. Swan and Willie Mac start talking up like, hey, tag team division, that's a thing. Remember, we used to do that.
Yeah.
Like, it's really like, oh yeah, we're tag team. Don't forget.
Like, and Bar's like, are you going to be a tag team again? It's like, we were always a tag team. We never stopped being one.
Yeah, I just had a broken leg, a broken back, title run.
Yeah, do you know what? It's nice to see that Impact are trying to revive the tag teams with the wrestlers they've got, going back to tag teams they've had.
Well, Impact is one of the things that I personally love to do myself. It's having wrestlers that are singles wrestlers, but are also a tag team.
Yeah.
And that actually makes sense as both. I am a big fan of it, because look at Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. These guys are an amazing tag team over in AEW. It makes perfect sense to put them together, but they're great as singles wrestlers as well and don't need to be a tag team. They just have each other's backs whenever they need it. It's awesome. I strive for that.
And then, so Mac and Swan, they start arguing with TJP and Balabar about who should get the next title shot, and they're going to settle it next week.
Yeah. One thing I love is that when Swan puts his feet up on the table and he gets told by, oh my god, Alyssa looks at him and goes, hey, the Midnight Mare doesn't allow anybody to put their feet up on the table, not even Bravo. Right?
Yeah.
And he's like, Bravo, one time exception. Show him your shoe, show him. And he pulls out these crazy leather print shoes and just puts them on the table next to Swan. Which Swan is wearing these suede purple shoes. Right? I don't know what it was, but I was like, okay, this is just stupid enough that it's hilarious.
Yeah, the Swingers Palace always, again, it was one of those things I wasn't a fan of when it first started, and soon just started to love it. The same as Tenille Dashwood wasn't a fan of. Now I love it.
Yeah, and then so what is it that Willie Mack says that Swinger responds with turnip, no outside food?
Yeah.
I have no, what did Mac actually say? I have no idea.
I didn't hear what he said either.
I was too distracted by the turnip.
Then we go into the next segment. Yeah.
Next we get Dawn and Dreamer. And I really like this. This is probably one of the best promos. Like, this is the best promo segment of the night, in my opinion. You got Dawn coming up saying, hey, no hard feelings. It is what it is, you know? Like, this, like, the best bosses never retire. They get fired, you know? That's what they say. Dreamer's like, I've never heard that, and neither have I.
No, but, this is where Don Callis actually says that he's the new EVP, and then that they should have a match, but not with each other. He's trying to convince Tommy Dreamer to get in the ring, obviously. And he says, we'll have a 3 versus 3.
Mega, you've always wanted to do it. You've been trying to convince me to do it for a year. It was good.
Yeah. So we're going to get, next week, we're going to get Kenny and the Good Brothers versus 3 guys that Tommy picks.
Yes, which we'll get into later.
Team Callis versus Team Dreamer.
Yep. I mean, that's such a TNA thing. Team Hope, Team Flair.
It's before that, it's WWF thing, that really, isn't it? WCW.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I'm not as familiar with that era, I suppose, so maybe that's why I didn't think of it right away. But next we get into the third match, which is automatically the best match because Rohit's in it. I'm kidding.
No, you got it wrong. Automatically the best match because Trey's in it.
We'll agree to disagree. But no, I did really enjoy this tag match. I thought it was really good, considering that Petey and Trey are basically just random partners. But it's Rohit and Shira, and I'm not a fan of Shira. Shira barely works with Rohit, but at least he's the silent muscle for Rohit right now, so it's working out. But bring us through the match, dude.
But one thing, I'm worried about Shira being another beast monster person that Impact to use. I keep going to call him TNA. I'm tired. It's been a long day. They're just so many of these monster kind of people in it, and I'm just worried they're trying to produce so many of them. It just feels a bit lackluster, like I said last week. But so Ace and Madman come down to the ring, causing Williams to be distracted, and then Rohit hits this drive-by finisher to get the pinfall, and it was just beautiful, just absolutely beautiful.
That was not a drive-by. That was totally a running Shining Wizard. That's a modified Shining Wizard. That's not a drive-by. A drive-by is when you're leaning off the first rope or on the apron, and then somebody runs up and drop kicks you in the head. That is a drive-by.
I stand miscorrected then. Miscorrected?
Nope, it wasn't you. It wasn't you. It was Josh Matthews. He called it wrong. I'm just saying.
Oh, I've got to say, I'm sick of Josh Matthews again now. Like, bring Matt Striker back.
2 shows and then I get fed up. I agree.
Yeah, like, bring Matt Striker back. I'm bored of him again. Like, it was great seeing him back. It was, I don't know what I'm saying, just nostalgic because it wasn't gone long.
I'd be okay if he was added as a third commentator for pay-per-views. I'd be cool with him being added for pay-per-views as a third commentator.
Yeah, but let's do it in a year when I'm not so irritated by his voice.
Yes. Next we go into Tommy, who's trying to recruit Sami Callihan for his team. And
we missed at the end of the match. Where Ace and Madman jump in the ring and beat down everyone, and then Josh Matthews comes out, and then Chris Bay comes and stands at the top of the ramp and just starts recording what's going on, like, on his phone. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right. We skipped that stuff, though. My bad. But next we go into the Dreamer trying to recruit Sami Callihan. And I like how Dreamer's barely saying anything, really. He's just like, come on, Sammy. Come on. Please. Come on, Sammy. It's essentially all he's saying.
Yeah.
And then Callahan's just like, you know what? Why not? Fine. I hate Omega. I hate the Good Brothers. It's an opportunity for me to hurt them, basically. That's all it is, right? And then, I love this part. Moose just walks up, and he goes, I'm in, and then walks away.
Yep.
Perfect. So we got Moose and Callahan confirmed at this point. That's awesome. Right there, I'm like, I don't care. Like, will they, won't they? Can they get along? I'm like, I don't give a shit. This is going to be awesome.
Well, Moose has proved that he'll get along with anyone to win a match.
Yep. That's actually, you're right.
And then Dreamer says, should we tell him who his partner is? And Sammy's like, no, leave it as a surprise.
Which I admit, I was surprised when I saw who it was later.
Yeah, but I missed the part where we find out who it is.
They never announced it.
They never announced it.
No, I think it's because Gia, basically the way it starts is Gia walks up to Tommy and Sammy as they're already talking.
Yeah.
So it's implied that Tommy has already told Sammy who the first person in the team is. It's an implication, Jay. You have to pay attention. This is not.
I got that, but when I missed the part where they announced it was who it is. I know who it is, but I missed the part where they announce it.
Yeah, yeah, they don't, which is a little bit of a flop. But
into the ring where Rachel Ellringer calls Jordan Grace to the ring to clear the air.
Yeah, I really like Rachel's promo. It felt very sincere. It felt real. I mean, a lot of people can connect what she was saying about the idea of despite being how you should be in a good place and how you know that you have everything set up right for you, you're still just not feeling it. You're still feeling down on yourself. You're still. Everybody can relate to that.
Yeah, and then Jordan Grace is like. No, then Jazz's music hits, and she comes to to talk to them both.
No, Jordan Grace talks first about her frustrations. She vents them out about how she's been chasing the tag titles before Rachel even got here. How she beat Taya to be she beat Taya, the longest reigning Knockouts champion.
Yep. How she was the queen of the Knockouts before she even got there. Yeah, that's what she said. Yep.
So it's she's trying to tell her you don't understand my fall from grace. You don't understand how high up I was and how low I am now. And then of course she keeps saying it's only because of Tenille. It's only because of Tenille. And it's just no, it's not. I'm actually kind of on Jordan's side for this one. I will admit. Rachel's just Rachel Ellring's not listening.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with Tenille.
That's true, yeah.
But going to the part where this is when Jazz comes out.
So then Jazz's music hits and she comes out, which was just a nice little touch. I think she was the one who set him up. She's the one who's kind of trying to get things back together. But and she says basically Jordan Grace needs to let go of her ego and come down a notch. And Rachel said it's not all Jordan Grace, and she wants to resolve this. And Grace says she needs to think about it and walks off. And then we get Dashwood and Caleb come out to the ring to try.
Yeah, which this I don't like because it would have been the moment Jordan leaves the ring, and, Caleb comes out. So I'm wouldn't they have crossed paths?
Yeah. I didn't even click with that.
Just saying it.
I didn't even click with that. But then Rachel. Dashwood goes to the ring, tried to team with Rachel, but Rachel says she only wants to be in the ring with her if it's a rematch. Rachel challenges to a match. Then Dashwood acts like she's thinking about it and goes to clothesline her. Rachel ducks and lands a spine buster, and then Caleb makes the save and takes Dashwood away, which means we're going to get a rematch between Rachel Ellringer and Tenille Dashwood. But I just felt like Jazz was not utilized there to the best of her abilities.
I was hoping Jazz was gonna hit a clothesline or like anything. I was hoping Jazz was gonna like stop the hit maybe from Tenille instead of Tenille just missing. You know, like I was really hoping, but nope, she's retired. She's done.
Except for appearances outside of Impact.
Management appearances doesn't count.
No, she's wrestled a few matches.
Oh, has she?
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose it just implies she was done with Impact. They never said that she was done. But anyway.
It's a retirement tour she's doing.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool then.
Yeah.
That's like Kurt Angle when he did it. You can totally do that shit. Go for it.
Yeah, back on.
But yeah, we'll see where this goes. I'm starting to get a little tired with it, but now I'm starting to actually side with Jordynne Grace on this one. I'm starting to be invested in Jordynne Grace, and I'm like, no. She's in the right. She's in the right on this.
Yeah.
I love it whenever a heel or someone that's supposed to be doing a heel turn is actually in the right. I'm not gonna lie. Next, right before they cut to what I assume would have been a commercial break, we have Myers giving Sam Beale his own entrance mask. I love how it's played up like it's such a big deal. Like, I loved it.
Yeah, it was good.
But next match is Sam Beale versus Jake something, and of course we have Myers at ringside. So go ahead, man.
Yeah, so Myers, Beale and Jake really did well. Good match. You know, you get Myers throw a chair in, trying to get Jake disqualified, but Jake just gets mad. He tears Beale apart in the corner before hitting a black hole slam, getting the pin.
Yep. Nice, quick, simple, good match. Really, the only talking points is what happens after, in my opinion.
Yeah, so Myers says, I can't even read my writing.
Myers tells him it's not his fault. Like, Sam, it's not your fault you lost that match. It's whenever you lose a match, remember, just look for somebody else to blame, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
He was, yeah. He tries to blame Jake something for bringing a chair into the ring.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And then we get Rich Swann and Willie Mack backstage, giving Edwards and Kojima words of encouragement before they face Violent by Design in the main event.
Yep. But before we do the main event, card for next week.
Yep. So we've got Team Dreamer versus Callis,
Yes.
TJP and Falabar versus Rich Swann and Willie Mack. And then we've got
first, Team Dreamer, third member. Yep. This is when we finally figure it out, is Chris Sabin.
Yeah. Is that the first time we got announced? I thought I missed it.
No,
I really did.
That is the first time they don't even really they say it. Oh, in the third band for Team Dreamer, Chris Sabin. That's all it's like. That was it. That was the announcement of Chris Sabin being on the team. I'm like, oh, that was bad.
Yeah.
I figured they would have had like a little promo or something cut in. But anyway, then yes, of course. As you were saying, TJP and Falaba versus Swann and Mack for number one contendership, the tag titles, and then Chris Bay versus Petey Williams in one-on-one. We don't know what's going to be on BTI yet, and we don't know what's going. There's usually a fourth match, sometimes five. But those are the ones they announced.
It's been announced. Eddie Edwards versus Kojima is a match.
Oh, That's going to be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear what Jordan is going to think of that match, honestly. I know Jordan's going to like gush on that one. Those are two of his top guys. It's going to be great.
I wonder if that'll be on BTI.
That'd be a reason to tune into BTI.
It would.
Whew. So let's go into the main event. Eddie Edwards and Kojima teaming up versus Violent by Design's Diener and Joe Doring.
Yeah. What do you think of the match?
I was a little underwhelmed.
I was completely underwhelmed.
It went on a little too long for me. I think it could have been cut by about maybe 4 or 5 minutes.
Yep.
Especially since they implied that there was a commercial break in there.
Yep.
And then, I mean, the tag match we had earlier in the night between PD and Trey versus Rohit and Shiro was just really good. Like, really, really good. And it took me by surprise because I don't expect much from Shiro usually. And then, like, Susan Diana was fun for what it was, but Rosemary and Hogan was just like a hell of an opening match. So I guess I just felt like underwhelmed.
I did. Like, so the end of the match is Edward lands a back kick on Dorian. Kojima hits a Kojima cutter. Edward goes for a Boston knee party, but Joe catches him and hits a Revolution bomb and gets 3 count.
Like triple
and that just ends.
Power bomb.
And then it's just, that's the end of the show. And it just felt very wow. It didn't feel like a main event. It didn't have the feel like, I know it was meant to with Edwards and Kojima teaming up, but I just feel like the show ended on like a nothing.
Yeah, it feels like there should have been something else.
Yeah.
Now, I think they should have waited to announce the card for next week after the main event, and we could have had maybe like a backstage segment with Chris Sabin saying he was the third man.
Yeah, it was just it just ended. Like,
yeah, I feel like it would have been cool to get something else, a little something else, just a tidbit, because it ended flat. I mean, maybe that's the effect of sometimes a heel win at the end of a show like that, like a non-shocking heel win, can feel very flat at the end of a show.
Yeah.
There's no crowd for us to gauge it. I'm so excited for the Slammiversary. So excited for Slammiversary.
Oh yeah, me too. I've booked it off work.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing. We might have a special guest.
Really?
We might have a special guest to do our predictions.
Awesome.
So that means this person will come in, do their predictions with us, and if they win, we ain't gonna see them for a month. They're gonna take that belt and run. So we'll see. We'll see.
Sounds like Brock
Working
Lesnar.
on it. But other than the ending of the show, yeah, this is really good for Impact. I really enjoyed it. Now there's a topic I want to bring up with you, unless you had something else.
No.
Okay, so Pro Wrestling Alliance, Lewis Carlin. I love the guy's content. I listen to it fairly regularly. I don't
Yeah, me too.
listen to every video, but I very much listen to it as much as I can. I know you're also a listener of his.
Yep.
So he released a little video recently posing the question of, should Impact become Canada's nationally syndicated television wrestling series? Like, should with Anthem being in Canada, and with North America being so overcrowded with WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, MLW, like, there's a lot going on in the States. Should Impact maybe bring it up to Canada and focus on Canada instead and become the national syndicated series here? I'm just going to say hell yes, because I want a nationally syndicated Canadian wrestling series. Something that can tour in Ontario, Quebec, somebody that'll actually go all over Canada on a regular basis. Potentially I could actually see. Hell yes, I will take that. Because let's face it, if I want to see a show, I got to cross the border or travel over 8 hours.
Yeah.
Just because of where I am in the country. And it's just really no fun. It's so expensive to go to see something like WWE, and they come so rarely. I know it's pretty much the same situation for you with the UK. They don't go. They go to the UK way less than they come up here. So, yeah.
Weren't Impact at one point based in Canada for a little bit?
You mean this era of Impact, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened when they were starting? They were doing rotating venues for their TV recordings.
Mhm.
So they had like 2 or 3 different venues. They had like Las Vegas, they had Nashville, and they had, I believe, Ohio. Not sure. They had 3 in the States that they would go to. They had 1 in Mexico City, and then they had here in Canada they would go to Windsor.
Yeah.
And that's the venue they would go. The only Canadian venue they really went to was there. But yeah, they would do tapings. So like they would do like a month, sometimes 2 months of TV at that venue, and then they'd go to the next one for the next set of TV tapings.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Because like, yeah, you got it. It had an interesting effect of you had the main Impact roster that would travel with Impact. Then you had the Canadian roster for whenever they were in Canada, the American roster for whenever they were in the States, and the Mexican roster for when they were in Mexico. And it was freaking awesome. That was a fun little era. And then COVID hit.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if I'm correct with this, but Impact's not on TV in Canada, is it?
It is not. It is not. It is not televised at all in Canada. We do not get access.
So surely that's got to be the first, before Impact does settle in Canada, they need to get on TV in Canada.
I think the best thing to do would be to straight up just start running in Canada, even through Access TV, because it doesn't matter if they're broadcasting from the States or if they're broadcasting from Canada with that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because Anthem owns Access TV.
Yep.
So they can stay on there while they're shopping around in Canada and looking and trying their best. I will say they will not be the first to try it, but they'll probably be the biggest to try it. And I would love to see it happen. I would kill to see it happen. Like, it's, yeah. We need it, man. Canada has disappeared off the face of the earth when it comes to wrestling.
Yeah.
There's 4 big countries and when it comes to wrestling, and even like Australia is starting to get more known than we are when it comes to wrestling. And like now, I love it. I love wrestling from everywhere. It's amazing, and I love to see different styles and different cultures with wrestling. But I need to see mine out there at this point. I need to see Canadian style wrestling out there. Ugh.
And Canada's got some amazing wrestlers come from, Canada.
Well, that's what
my favourite all-time wrestlers, Canadian, so.
But that's what it is. Like, our guys are everywhere because we don't have that home base.
Yeah.
We got great Canadian wrestlers over in the UK with guys like Mike Bailey, who goes over on a regular basis. People at Mike Bailey's incredible. Then you got the amount of Canadian talent that's in America, okay? Like, it is crazy. It is so crazy how many great Canadian guys are down there. And so many guys that I don't even know are Canadian until, like, they're like, oh, yeah, I'm Canadian. It's just, I moved down to the States like a year or 2 ago.
Yeah.
Oh, like, really? Chances are, by the way, if a guy in America has a Canadian gimmick, he's American.
Yeah. Here's the thing. So if Impact come, because I only know what I see of like Canadian wrestlers. Like Bret Hart to me is like Canadian wrestler, like fucking icon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you let him so Impact moved to Canada? Would you have him involved?
I mean, if he'd want to be, I'd love. Yeah, he'd be somebody to be worth talking to, man. Like, if Bret Hart would want to be involved, it would be really cool. He doesn't need to be like an authority figure or like.
Doesn't even need to be on TV. Just have him there to coach the kids.
Oh my God, he doesn't do it anymore. I don't think he doesn't teach or anything anymore. But I mean, just having Bret Hart around could be incredible. Yeah, having him as as a creative consultant could be really fun.
Yeah,
I think you could do some cool stuff, especially if you want to be like, hey, do you want to make Impact feel a little bit more like the heart and soul of Canada? Do you want to get back to the root of Canadian wrestling? Let's do a whole Impact special and watch Bret Hart book it.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds incredible to me. That's a dream. That's a dream come true. Almost as much as me booking an Impact special is. But yeah, dude, I'll be honest. I really hope the UK. I know you guys had World of Sports that tried, and it was so close.
Oh, Impact Wrestling, when it was TNA, was the biggest wrestling company in the UK. More people would go and watch that when it came over here than they did go watch WWE. And this is before WWE did NXT UK. And I always said, Impact Wrestling need to do a UK version. They do a UK version, it would just sell really well. TNA needs to do an Impact a UK version, and it would just do amazing. And they just missed the ball. They really did.
I will say, there's two main UK guys that probably sold that entire show just on their own two names alone, and that'd be Rockstar Spud and Doug Williams.
Yeah.
Doug Williams.
Dave Mastiff, a local wrestler who wrestled on TNA, said when he was at TNA, it was one of his worst times ever backstage and stuff. Like they didn't treat the staff well at the time. So,
I'm pretty sure Rampage Brown got his start on the British Boot Camp, TNA British Boot Camp, correct?
Yeah, well, yeah, he was around before that, but yeah, that's where he got his.
It's when he got really started getting noticed, I should say.
Yeah, and Marty Scurll.
Oh, that's true. He was on that. I forgot. He was Party Marty back then.
Yes.
Jesus.
And Grado. Can't forget Grado.
Oh, Grado. I miss watching Grado. Where is Grado? What is Grado doing? I want to see Grado somewhere. Somebody.
He's on TV in the UK. He's got this cop show. It's hilarious.
What? He's got a what?
It's like a show about cops, like in Scotland, and it's really funny. Really funny. He's amazing. I just love him.
Okay. You just gave me an extra like if I needed another reason, but you just gave me an extra reason to travel to Scotland one day, dude. Like, are you serious? I have to see this. Grado's in my top 5 comedy wrestlers, and comedy wrestling is one of my top 2 favorite styles of wrestling.
I'll see if I can get a link and find it for you.
Oh, that'd be great. Thank you. But we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. We're gonna end the episode here, or otherwise we're just gonna keep rambling about random stuff. But remember, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and if you really want to help out, patreon.com/Wrestle Geeks 2020. And we'll see you here again next week for another Impact Wrestling recaps. And always remember, everybody, wrestling is for everyone.
Peace
or
out.
else